This video is sponsored by Stepcraft. Think it, make it.
So it comes as no surprise that I love the outdoors. Hiking, camping, exploring, I love it all. I'm thankful that I live in a place where there's still plenty of forest left to explore without running into too many crowds of people. I'm also thankful for organizations like the National Park Service that keep protected lands protected from the detriments of too many interactions, while also maintaining nature's serene beauty and, not constructing another Dollar General. It's my dream to visit all 63 national parks, which is going to be tough because I live in Pennsylvania and the nearest one is a 16-hour round trip drive. But either way, I want to show my appreciation by making my own sign to hang up and keep me reminded of my goals. I'm going to start by downloading a vector version of their logo that I can start to work with and get ready for Vetric V Carve, which will be what the CNC will use to cut the design. I'm working in Adobe Illustrator here to speed things up because it's what I know best, but there's a lot of programs out there that'll help with this. The layering on this file was a little weird, so unifying the layers and making sure everything coincides with what is needed from the CNC will make life a lot easier. From here, I can start working with the layers in Vetric V Carve and begin ordering the cutting procedures. This is a crucial part because I can only take away from the wood and not add in what I mistakenly cut off. So far, this has been the most complicated carving I've made on a CNC, but don't let that fool you, it was incredibly easy to set up, even for me who only has a couple of months of experience with Vetrics and CNC machines in general. So not complicated, just time consuming. Here's how the final rendering looks, and here is the order of events I came up with. Getting started on the actual carving, I'm using a 3/4 inch thick pine board that's 24 by 48 inches long. I made the design at the maximum size it could be for the machine I'm using, which is the Stepcraft D840. I cannot say enough good things about this CNC. I'll have a link in the description for all the tools and router bits I used to make this carving, but starting out, I'm actually using a 1-inch wide spoil board surfacing bit to carve out the majority of the material, and then switching to an 1/8 inch straight bit for the finer details. So here it is complete and ready for fine tuning. The board itself had a bit of a warp, so there's a few spots that are a little awkward, especially around the extruded letters, but nothing a bit of sanding and cleanup can't fix. Here's Peppers making another appearance to show her support. She is a huge fan of the outdoors, even though she's never been out. I don't let her leave the house, but I know she would love it. Once that's done, I can inscribe the back with my logo and a place to sign it. I've used this design on other products I've produced in the past, and so far it's done well. I like that it adds a touch of professionalism to whatever I make, and if I ever sell this, whoever has it in the future will know where it came from and how to watch me make it happen, I guess. Next up is one more final sanding and then spraying on a coat of primer. As much as I would love to stain this one has to be painted. The paint is nothing special, just basic acrylic from a craft store nearby. Since it's cheap paint though, I have to layer it up a few times, which is no big deal, but it is pretty time consuming. After I'm done watching the paint dry, I can begin to consider how I'd like to protect this from the elements. Nothing I do will make it worthy of being outside since it is a very soft pine, but I can at least keep it from aging and protect against paint loss.
So unfortunately, this is where things went a little south. When I went to apply the polyurethane, I put it on a little too thick, and when I went to prop it up, runs started to happen, and it dried that way, and it looks pretty bad. On top of that, I've got a pretty big crack starting to form at the top, so let's get started on the repairs.
For the crack, I thought it'd be pretty cool to do my very first CNC bow tie. I went with 1/2 millimeter for the clearance, and that seemed to have a pretty nice snug fit. The bow tie itself is thicker than the board, but I have a cool idea to carve some of it away, making it look more organic. I also decided to carve away the polyurethane runs with the same method and overall give it a more aged, roughed up look by leaning into the imperfections and letting go of the brand new look that the fresh paint gave it. This process, although a lot more time consuming, was a lot of fun. It's not something I'm good at, but eventually, just like with the painting, which is also something I'm not good at, the more you work with it, the more you start to uncover something you could be proud of. So with a little bit of time and effort, I like how this turned out. Once that's done, I can start on how I'd like to mount this to the wall. Although there's a plethora of options out there, I'm going to do a simple French cleat. While attaching this, I noticed the paint warped the board a bit more than its original warp, but it is thin pine, so not really surprised there. To help give it a little more stability, I'll add these rubber furniture feet to make sure it doesn't wobble around while it's mounted to the wall. And last but not least, a signature, and then giving it a coat of spray-on matte finish to seal in the colors. But that just about wraps things up. I want to thank you guys for watching this whole way through. If you enjoyed, like and leave a comment. It really helps get these videos into the algorithm. And if you have any questions at all, let me know in the comments, and I will get back to you as soon as I can. But regardless, thank you again for watching, and I will see you in the next episode.